guys, so today's video is just going to be a get ready with me. I just want to back this up a little bit. Sorry if my lighting's been like weird lately. Like the sun literally goes behind the clouds every 5 minutes now here in New York, so sorry. So as you can see from the title of this video, we are not going to Disneyland. And I will explain why that is not happening, but I am pretty devastated about it because y'all know how much of a Disney fan that I am. I love Disney. Like, by the way, we're going to be using a Disney palette today too, so might as well reminisce about not going. So I'm going to explain why it didn't happen. I'm just priming and just putting on my Dewdrop lip oil. My face is still pretty splotchy today. So I got like upset last night because obviously Disney wasn't happening. So I was like crying last night because I was like really upset about it. But then like we came up with an alternative plan. But after like crying last night, my face got really splotchy and red. So that fucking sucked. So I have like 40 minutes to be ready. So I'll still be able to leave before 3. It's like 2:05 right now. Okay, so for my eyeshadow, I'm going to use the Colourpop Alice in Wonderland palette. I really haven't been using this palette that much, so I thought I would give it another go today. And also, I've just been using like the Ace Beauté and the Simply Posh palette a lot the past week. So I was like, I want to use Colourpop today because I kind of miss it. So I'm going to be using this shade, and this shade. I'm going to start with this one. I'm not really going to be talking about when I'm using that much, so that's why I just set it first. I don't think I've used this shade in the crease yet. I think this one has more pigment to it than the like peachy shade does, because it looks like it picks up on the brush better. It looks like it's very cool toned though, but it should be okay. Maybe I should have started with the peach, but I don't really care. So so me and my sister were talking about getting our tickets like 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago, there was plenty of tickets available for the day that we wanted to go. So the original plan, so like I keep on finding out new information of what's happening in California, like literally every day. Like I found out 2 things last night that I didn't even know was happening until yesterday, because no one communicates anything to me in this family sometimes, and I'm gonna vent about it because I always hear things through somebody else, like and it's usually from my mom, because like I kind of understand why my sister isn't telling me these things, because she's busy planning a wedding, and now the trip is a week away. From today, it's a week from now, but we leave that Wednesday. But pretty much like a week from now, I'm going to be doing everything to prep to leave. So, and Tuesday, I'm going to pack everything. So, next Tuesday. So anyway, I was waiting on my brother and his friend to tell me like when they were going to get their tickets. And it works out a little bit better this way that we're not going, because my brother and his friend waited way too long to decide to tell me that they wanted to get tickets, because my brother went away on a weekend trip this weekend, and he was going with the friend that he's bringing to Disney. I mean, he's bringing to California into the wedding. Obviously, again, we're not going to Disney anymore. Now I'm using that blue shade, and that actually looks really nice with it, because I wanted like a hint of blue with this look, and it looks really nice. So I forgot that this shade like shows up pretty dang well. Unlike the other pastels in this palette, this blue is definitely the most pigmented out of all the pastels. So my brother was telling me that he wasn't going to talk to his friend about getting tickets until they went away this weekend. And it's like, my mom and me and my sister were all like, I mean, especially my mom, because my brother is the type of person that doesn't take care of anything himself. He literally just expects my mom to help him with absolutely everything, or like me and my sister will have to tell him what he needs to do. And we're just like, you know, we're starting to get really annoyed about it, but I mostly blame my brother for this happening because like I said, he texted me yesterday and told me like we should get our tickets soon. So I told my mom like, let's, you know, go on the website tonight and get my ticket, because my mom said that paying for Disney was my graduation present for getting my bachelor's degree. So I go on the website wanting to get a ticket, and turns out that the tickets are sold out from that day that we wanted to go all the way up until Saturday. And the day that we were supposed to go, I don't know why I didn't push my brother to just tell, you know, to call his friend and get our tickets that day that my sister got hers. So, but there are some positives to this. Then I'm trying to look at more of the positives than the negatives, but the big negative is that now I can't go to Disney anymore. And I'm like pretty fucking devastated about it, because y'all know how much I love Disney. So I'm pretty upset about that. I'm trying to blend this black a little bit better. Okay, I think that looks better. That actually looks really nice. It's so weird that like I was so hesitant about the black in this palette, and now I'm like, every time I use it with these pastels, I'm like, since it has more shimmer in it and it's not like too black, it works out better because it's not like a pure matte black. It's kind of like almost, it's not, I would say, gray. I would say it's like a grayish black, but it's not really that gray, if that makes any sense. It's kind of more of like a charcoal shade than I would say like purely black. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the lid shade. And the one I've been really wanting to use is the shade I'm Late. So I'm finally able to use it today. And every time I swatch it, it has like these stunning like multi-glitters in it. And it has like red and blue and green. And it's so pretty. So we ended up, that's gorgeous, by the way. Really stunning. So we ended up being sold out to go that day. But the only person that had bought a ticket was my sister. And this picks up so well. Like, I barely need to dip into it, and it's like I still have plenty of product on my finger. I keep on hating on this palette, but every time I use it, the shimmers are just so beautiful. And I wanted to do kind of like a subtle cool tone bluish look today, and that's exactly how it turned out, because I just wanted to wear this t-shirt today because I am so tired from this weekend. I really haven't been getting the greatest sleep. And then of course last night I ended up being exhausted because I was upset. So like Disney doesn't really do refunds, but she might potentially be able to get a credit to use her ticket at a later time. So, since she lives in California, she can go whenever she wants. But also, like, the only other day that we would have been able to go would be Sunday. But my sister said that she doesn't want to go because she is going to be too tired from Saturday, which is the wedding. And the only other suggestion that I had was that if I potentially go with my brother to Disney, but that's like honestly going to be not an enjoyable experience for me because me and my brother really don't do anything together anymore. The only time we get along with each other is if we're with my sister. So that actually turned out really nice. Way better than I thought it was going to. So let me just go grab my sponge, and then I'll tell you the rest of the story. So I'm just kind of like drenching my face in the Fourth Ray Beauty Spray, and then I'm just going to use my Say primer because we need some hydration on this blotchy face. So anyway, So here are the positives. So one, well, the thing is that my brother and his friend, but it's more so my brother's fault. Like, I'm not really gonna blame his friend for this. Um, so I'm using the Tower 20. Sorry, I was just reading a message from my boyfriend. So I'm using the Tower 28 tinted moisturizer because this is my favorite, and I use it like once a week at least. And since my face is not doing that great, it's pretty good for when my face is irritated. So, because it's a way more hydrating tinted moisturizer. So yeah, like my brother just waited way too long to talk to his friend about going to Disney. And it wasn't going to be my responsibility to tell him like what he needs to do. Like, he's a grown adult. It shouldn't be this hard for him to call my sister or call his friend and talk about what they're doing. Like, or he could have talked to me about it. Like, I'm always like getting my siblings together for things, and again, like, I'm not blaming my sister for what happened because it's not her fault. It's my brother's fault. So I definitely need some more coverage because my skin is looking like an uneven mess right now. I need a little bit more on this side. Okay, just like right there underneath, like where the splotchy areas are. So yeah, I'm not blaming my sister whatsoever or my brother's friend. It's my brother's fault, and it's kind of my fault too because I should have just bought my ticket before he figured out what he wanted to do, because I don't know why I waited for him, but at the same time, if they got sold out and me and Samantha were going to Disney, then like Cameron and his friend like would have figured out something else to do, and it would have only been me and my sister going. Because I also found out that my sister's maid of honor was originally supposed to go with us, and also her maid of honor's sister was supposed to come, and it was supposed to be like a girls' day at Disney. But then I found out, because I said to Samantha, like, I'm so sorry, like, I hope that Amy and her sister can get refunds, because I thought that they had all gotten tickets too. But turns out that they can't even go. Okay, so I'm just using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. So it does kind of work out though, because again, since my sister is the only one that ended up getting a ticket, I also was supposed to go with my brother and his friend to get there. So if they were going to be sold out, even though I think Disney's like right next to Universal Studios, I don't even know like how close they are to each other, but they were going to be my ride there, because originally we were going to take an Uber together, like me, my brother, and his friend, because like I didn't want to go by myself to get there. I mean, I would have just taken an Uber by myself, but again, like, I don't really feel comfortable with doing that with somewhere that I haven't been. So that's why I was supposed to go with my brother and his friend. So that ends up working out better though, because again, like, they still would have been sold out to Disney if I would have gotten a ticket before them, because, you know, my dumb brother decided to wait this friggin' long, like a week before we were supposed to go. And I texted him last night and I'm like, you know, this is your fault that we we're not able to go, because you waited this long to talk to your friend, and me and my mom both said to him that you need to talk to Matt before it's too late. And he didn't listen to either of us because he said again that he didn't want to talk to him um until he went away with him. So yeah. But it turns out that I didn't know that like again, I find out all this information yesterday that my brother's friend is going to be renting a car to have, like, in order for us to, like, I mean, it's probably better that him and my brother did that. I mean, even though Matt did that, because he gets car rentals from his job a lot cheaper. Like, because my dad is also renting a car, which me and my mom thought that we were just going to be taking Ubers to where we needed to get to, because we're not staying that far to where the wedding is or where the wedding is located. And also, my sister is staying in an Airbnb, like, not that far away from where we are. So she's going to be close to us. So since my brother's friend is now... My face still looks so splotchy because my skin hates me right now. I don't know if I might skip the powder on my face today, but I might put it on, like, super lightly. So yeah, it turns out since Matt is gonna have a car now, you don't know their last name, so it's not like it's a big deal if I say their name. It's not like you can find out who they are. Turns out that since he's now gonna have a car, now we have the option of driving to Disney and not taking an Uber, which might actually be cheaper, because then if we take a car, I looked up the general parking and it's $30 before 5 p.m. Which honestly isn't terrible. I mean, it'd be cheaper after 5 p.m., but obviously, like, we can't go that late. It's either we go then or we don't go at all. So, did I say where we were actually going instead? Well, the thing is that since Disney didn't work out, let me just tell you now, I just wanted to give you that background information first, so I didn't fuck it up too much telling the story. So turns out, since we're not going to Disney, what we're gonna do instead is go to Universal Studios. And we're gonna go to Harry Potter World and potentially, like, hit up maybe Jurassic World or, you know, some other aspect of Universal. So everybody was telling me to, I'm going to use the shade Prance from Colourpop on my waterline because I thought that would be a nice little periwinkle pop of blue. And this is kind of like a more wearable way to wear color if you just, like, use one pop of, like, a, like, pastel. It gives you a little bit of, like, a pop of color. So I kind of like that too. But this liner is so pretty, so I wanted to use this one today. And then we're going to go back into the Alice palette. I have, like, 15 minutes to be ready, so I want to hurry up and get the frick out of here. I didn't grab, did I spray my face already? I really don't even remember doing that. Let's just do it again, because I want to hydrate my face as much as possible today. And then for the inner corners, I'm going to take the shade Down the Rabbit Hole right here. So since my brother's friend is going to have a car, we're just going to drive there. And like I said, well, hopefully we're going to drive there, because I'm going to tell them, like, if we don't take an Uber and decide to drive instead, then the parking is $30 before 5 p.m. So I don't think that's going to be terrible. That's such a pretty color. Okay, it turned out I really liked this, like, wearable This is like a way to wear blue that's like not intimidating, you know? I'm like kind of intimidated by blue myself as well. Not that I won't wear it, but like I've said before, blue is like the most like vibrant color to me. Like for me, I feel more comfortable wearing like green or pink or purple, but blue is always like a more out there color for me. So yeah, we're gonna end up doing that instead. So the positives, like I said, is that his friend is going to have a car, so I think that might be easier for us to go. Amy and her sister didn't have to worry about getting refunds because it turns out that they couldn't even go in the first place, which again I didn't even know until last night. And people are also telling me that Universal Studios is the better park to go to in California, and that Disneyland is not as good as Disney World, because Cameron's friend has been to Disney, grown, you know, being older now, and I just have to make another side note. So, like, Matt had to tell me that he went to Florida like 2 years ago during like the peak of COVID in Florida, and he ended up going home on the plane home with COVID, and my brother gave us a ridiculously hard time about not going to Disney because we told him you're gonna get sick, because turns out, like, and my brother didn't even tell us that his friend ended up getting COVID on the way home. But, you know, my brother didn't think that that information was important to tell us. So, but, like, his friend, like, decided to tell me that tale again, which I already knew this because he had, one, already told me, and two, like, we found out from his friend, like, my brother didn't even tell us this information when it happened. So yeah, my brother loves to not disclose things to us, but he gave us a ridiculously hard time about not going. I was like, well, you would have gotten sick if coming back, and then you would have gotten everybody else infected coming back here, because they had told people if you travel and you come back to your home, you have to quarantine yourself. That was the state that we were in then. And he said, I don't want to stay confined to my room. So then my mom said, you're not going. She was like, if you want to go, then you can't come back home when you come back. And he said that she was being ridiculous and cursed her out and all this crazy bullshit. So yeah, it was a friggin' nightmare. So, but anyway, what he told me was that since he went to Disney World then and risked going and had COVID anyway, he said that Disney World was way more worth going to than Disneyland. So, but for me, since I'm such a Disney freak, I'm just really upset about it. So now I'm just using my Act Natural mascara from Colourpop. I need to get out of here very soon because my mom's gonna be home soon. And today's Memorial Day, so it depends on, like, what time she leaves work, because she might leave later because it might be really busy today, because she does work at Apple, so. So, yeah, I'm pretty upset about it, but pretty much we're not going to be able to go now. But my sister was the one that suggested to go to Universal Studios instead. And Universal Studios is a bit more expensive than Disney. But again, since my mom was getting my ticket, it wasn't as much of an issue for me. But now, since my sister, like, isn't sure she's going to get a refund, me and my brother might have to get her ticket for a potential wedding present. But at the same time, like, why would we have to give her a wedding present, you know? Like, I need to clean up that eyeshadow a little bit underneath my eye, like right here, because I already see, like, black specks happening. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, it sucks though. Like, I'm really bummed out about it. But I've also never been to Harry Potter World. But my mom went with my sister last year, and she said that it wasn't really that great. But I think since my sister's been, like, multiple times, she'll know, like, where the, you know, rides are worth it and the ones that aren't. So I'm not really that worried. And actually, I'm really excited about going. So now I'm going to use my Private Party bronzer from Colourpop because I kind of feel like I want to use a bit of a cooler tone today. Even though I feel like anything that I use today is not really going to show up that well because... or it's going to show up more warm tone because my cheeks are very splotchy and my forehead is like really scaly. Like it's having like dry patches on my forehead, so it's great, isn't it? Alright, so I need to leave in like 15 minutes, which I don't think is going to be an issue. So also, you know, after being devastated about not going to Disney anymore, Succession also ended last night. So I had to like call my sister first and figure out like what else we were going to do instead. I mean, since we weren't going to go to Disney, I thought we were just going to like have fun with my sister and go to lunch and shop and stuff like that. But I know like my sister like wanted to do something with me before the wedding because I wasn't able to go to Mexico City. So that's why she wanted to go with me. And wow, this blush is like way more warm tone than I thought it was going to be, but it's fine. I figured everything was going to turn out a bit more warm toned on my face today. Because again, like my cheeks are still pretty red and I wasn't really able to cover it up that well because it's still going to show through with my foundation. So yeah, Succession ended last night. I'm pretty sad about it too. So like yesterday was not a great day. It pretty much sucked because one, Succession ended, and two, I can't go to Disney anymore. But obviously I'm a lot more upset about not going to Disney. But the bright side is that I can return the shirt that I got at Hot Topic. I don't have to keep that anymore because I just don't need it now because I don't need another Disney shirt that I don't really need. So, alright, and then for a highlight, I want to use this Aether Beauty highlighter in the shade Diamond Dust. I also found out that Aether Beauty is no longer going to be a brand anymore. They are shutting down. But guess what brand is coming back? Oh my god, I forgot how beautiful this is. I haven't worn it in a hot minute, and it is so stunning. And it goes like perfectly with the lid shade that I used. Because it's like more sparkly, but not in like a glittery way. It's such a gorgeous highlighter. So also, what else was I gonna say? So yeah, Succession is over forever, excuse me. Yeah, Aether Beauty's shutting down, but also Marc Jacobs Beauty is finally coming back. So people are pretty happy about that. But, you know, I've never owned anything from Aether Beauty except for this highlighter, because, like, I've literally never been interested in anything else. And the reason why I picked up this highlighter was because of Tara Babes, so, because literally she would never stop raving about this highlighter, so. Okay, let me just grab a lippy and we'll be done. Okay, so I'm just throwing on a lippy. I'm using What's Your Sign from Colourpop. It's like my favorite lipstick ever. I'm just gonna finish it up off camera. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. And for people that watch Succession, don't spoil it for people, but I thought it was really good, but I'm sad that it's over. That's all I'm going to say, though. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I thought it ended exactly the way it should have. And I really like how this look turned out. I think it looks really pretty. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Still super devastated about not going to Disney, but you can still wear Disney palettes, right? But I really just wanted to use this palette again because I really haven't used it enough. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. And I hope you guys have a great day. Leave in the comments below, you know, just some encouraging things because I'm pretty upset about not going. So yeah, it's just, I'm going to blame my brother for it because I was waiting for him for a while to figure out what the hell he wanted to do. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later and have a good day. Bye.